Hey, what's up, guys? This is AJ, and today we are going to discuss 12th ARC report. Okay, so in this lecture series, what we used to do is that you know I'm going to dictate some points to you. You are going to listen to my voice. You are going to make notes out of those points, and you are going to revise those notes. Okay, I will suggest you to write down those notes on a loose paper, so it will be easy for you to uh, you know to make further changes in that note. Okay, so let's not waste our time and let's start our topic. Okay, so this 12th report deals with the citizen centric approach of the government. Okay, so whatever is necessary for citizen centric approach, then these things are covered under this report. Okay, so first point is good governance. Okay, so what does it means? See, what we expect in the term good governance. Okay, so this good governance consists of following terms. Okay, it should be like if the government is accountable, then we will call it as a good governance. Okay, so transparency, accountability, responsiveness, then equitable and like governance should be equitable and inclusive. Okay, so good governance should be effective and efficient. Then good governance should be consensus oriented. Good governance should be participatory. Then good governance should be following the rule of law. Okay, so these things are broadly come under the good governance. Okay, so if someone asks you what is good governance, then in that answer these keywords that I have told you earlier, that should come. Okay, I will suggest you to create one Venn diagram. Like there will be a good governance in the center, and the arrows will come out of the center, and these points, right, accountability, transparency, this point you will write. Okay, surrounding it, so it will be easy for examiner to point out. Okay, the next point is the good governance should be irrespective of class, caste, and creed. Okay, so these three C should not be there. Okay, so if the government is providing this kind of governance, then it is called as a good governance. Okay, the next point is very important: four pillars of good governance. Okay, so there are 4E. Okay, so earlier we discussed 3C. Okay, now we are discussing 4E. Okay, so what are these E? See, these four pillars of good governance, these are as follows. Okay, first is ethos, like of service to the citizen. Next is ethics, like honesty, integrity, transparency. Third is equity. Okay, equality, sorry. Equality means treating all citizens alike. Okay, no, there will not be any discrimination. Then last is efficiency. Okay, speedy and effective. Okay, so these are the four pillars of good governance. Okay, the 3C we discussed, like caste, class, and creed, and 4E. Okay, so we will repeat it once again: ethics, then equality, then ethos, and then efficiency. Okay, so these four E are important in good governance. Next point is barriers to good governance. Okay, see, first point is attitudinal problems of the civil servants. Okay, so many civil servants are they are not able to change, as well as they have some attitudinal problem, so they give bad experience to citizen. So this makes this comes acts as a barrier to good governance. Next point is lack of accountability. Again, we know what it means. Then third point is red tapeism. Okay, so fourth point is low level of awareness of rights and duties of citizen. Okay, and the last point is ineffective implementation of laws and rules. Okay, so these are the barriers to good governance. Okay, I will not go in depth. Okay, I will not explain these terms. These, whatever the words I have stated, they are most of the time are self-explanatory, so I will not waste my time or your time in describing what it means. Okay, and next point is necessary preconditions for good governance. Okay, so what are the necessary conditions? So first is sound legal framework. Okay, if there is no proper legal backing, so it is difficult to implement good governance. Next point is robust institutional mechanism for proper implementation of laws. Okay, institutional backing should be there. Only setting up the law is not good. The institution should be very powerful. Okay, then only there will be effective implementation of the laws of those laws, and there will be good governance to the citizen. Next is competent personal staffing. Okay, competent personal staffing is lack we lack in this field. Okay, so our staffers are not competent, they are not they lack capacity building. Okay, so these points are there. So if you go to any government offices, then you will find out that most of the time the employees that work there, they themselves don't know what to do. Okay, so this is the problem in implementing or providing good governance to the citizen. Next point is sound personal management uh, sound personal management policies. Okay, so this personal means the people who are like officers who are working most of the time, broadly speaking, the officers who are working in the in central government and state governments. Okay, so there is no effective management policies of those officers. Okay, so then next point is right policies for decentralization, delegation, and accountability. Okay, so we don't have this kind of right policies for decentralization. There is no proper much decentralization is not in India. Okay, so we don't, most of the time there is no accountability. Nobody is accountable to anybody, or they don't even follow the norms. Okay, so this is the acts as a barrier. So what they are saying that if you want to establish a good governance, we need to have right policies for decentralization and delegation and accountability. Whatever the point that we have earlier discussed, these points are preconditions for good governance. Next point is number of tools to make the administration citizen centric. First is re-engineering processes to make governance citizen centric. Again, we need to introduce a institutional change, infrastructure change. Okay, so laws should be changed, like legal changes should we need to introduce to give good governance to citizen. So this is called as a re-engineering. Okay, so this is called, what they are saying is that these tools we need. Okay, next point is adoption of appropriate modern technology. Again, ICT based technologies that we lack. Okay, so we need to have ICT based technology. Next point is right to information. See, I will tell you again that this report was published in 2005. In 2005 only they gave right to information act. So they passed, the parliament passed. So this point is there. Okay, next point is citizen charter. This is again the tool to make administration citizen centric. Citizen charter, what does it mean, that we will discuss in further lecture. But if you are eager to know, then you just google it, you will find out that. In a short term that I will explain to you is that the government or that local administration will tell you how to, who is who, as well as what they are doing, okay, by themselves. Okay, so this is called as a proactive stance. So this proactive stand is nothing but a citizen charter. Next point is independent evaluation of services. Again, this is the tool to make administration citizen centric. Okay, if you have independent evaluation services, then there will be accountability to the government, and if there is accountability, then there will be more transparency. If there is more transparency, then at the end the citizen will get good governance. So we need independent evaluation services. And the next point is grievance redressal mechanism. Okay, if you have some complaint, then it should be very easy for you to file that complaint. You should get acknowledgement of that complaint. You should this complaint of yours should be redressed within time bound, like time framework. Okay, given time framework. So this is the nothing but the good grievance redressal mechanism. Next part is active citizens participation. Okay, so if you don't have, if the government does not involve citizens to in the decision making process at every stage, then we cannot hope of giving them a good governance. Okay, we should, the idea should come from the public. We should include them, then only there will be good governance. Next point is core principles for making governance citizen centric. Okay, like I so these are the core principles that we are going to discuss. First is rule of law, like zero tolerance strategy should be there. Okay, so there should be rule of law there, like if the particular, like if if a particular police officer captures a son of a particular leader, okay, that he has committed some crime, but the officer is if the officer has to has to leave that son just because he is getting a political pressure on him, then this is not called as a rule of law. Okay, so what is happening, our institutions are very weak. There is a tremendous political meddling in those institutions, so what happens is most of the time they succumb to the political pressure. So this should not be the case. Okay, if you want to give the good governance, you have to follow the principle of rule of law. Okay, there should be zero tolerance strategy. Means what, this police officer will arrest that son, no matter whose son is he. Okay, so this is called as a zero tolerance strategy. Next point is uh, again the all the public agencies should follow this or should adopt this zero tolerance strategy. Okay, if anti-corruption is bureau is arresting someone, or if they get some inputs, then they should take actions on those inputs. They should not consider what will be the consequences. Okay, next point is create appropriate statistical database backed up by the modern technology. Again, this is the core, this should be the core principle of making governance citizen centric. Okay, what is that? That to create appropriate statistical database backed up by the modern technology. Use of modern technology like internet, various types of processing powers. Okay, like we have like mygov.in. Okay, so this is called what we are doing. We are using modern technology. There is my government app also, there is Narendra Modi app also, like we have like Garva 2 app also. So these kind of apps are there. Then we have information service, like if there is a disaster, then at that time the government can send messages through mobile. Okay, so this is nothing but the use of modern technology to give. Again, if there is like most of the time you must have been getting messages on your mobile or in your email that government has launched a new scheme. Okay, or government is expecting some like in on Twitter, Narendra Modi tweets very often that he like on 15th August this year, what he tweeted is that we should, the people should share their pictures with Narendra Modi. Okay, so this is a good governance. Okay, this is again use of modern technology to make governance citizen centric. Okay, so these are the things that you should remember, that this should be the core principle of our governance. Okay, next point is making institutions vibrant, responsive, and accountable. Okay, so like if you learn, if you take your degree from IIT or IIM or any other big institutes, what you will find is that these institutes are vibrant, they are responsive to to the students need, are as well as the need of the time. Okay, next is they are accountable. Okay, so that is what is happening, then you get a good quality of students. Okay, so same should be in the government institutions. Okay, the government institutions should be vibrant, they should be responsive, they should be accountable. Then at the end, what the at that ultimately the citizen will get good governance. Okay, next point is decentralization and delegation. Okay, that these words are self-explanatory. Okay, next point is again transparency. We know what transparency means. Then they stated about civil service reforms. See, they what they stated in this, they stated that we need to change the attitudes of the civil servant. We discussed this point earlier. Then we should make them competence. Then we should increase their efficiency, and their approach to governance determines the experience that citizen has. Okay, so what they are stating is that uh, the civil servant's approach towards the governance determines the experience of the citizen. Okay, so to make the experience of the citizen good, we need to inculcate good values in that civil servant. Okay, next point is ethics in governance should be there. Okay, so this is again the principle of making it governance citizen centric. Next point is mm, we need to take process reforms, is what the commission is saying. So what are these process reform? They stated that we need to, like, example is they have given, like, we need to design a well citizen charter. Then legislations like right to information should be there. Again, this point is outdated because the report was of 2005. Okay, so if you forget these points, then it's okay. Next point is there should be periodic and independent evaluation of quality of governance. Again, this should be the our principle to give or to accept, like, to make governance citizen centric. Okay, so what we need a independent regulatory authorities. Okay, so if you have these many things, then our main point, that is good governance, will be given to the end user, that is citizen. Okay, so these are the points. Okay, so thanks guys for watching this video, and we will meet in a next video. Peace.